definitely make the best use of our time. I've got my bucket set. Need one more bucket for here. And let's take this one extra and just set it right over here. Now, the good news is I can keep my mobile power plants powered up, power them down when I'm not using them. And apparently I stopped turning this one off, so that way it's always running. That's good. So that means I can actually shut off the, this one's ready to process. So let's set that, let's set this in here. That means I can just turn them off kind of uniformly too a little better. So I kind of like that setup. Looks clean, looks neat. Now, the real challenge is going to be if I can use the loader well enough to actually execute what I'm trying to do here. So let's get some dirt. Let's get some dirt and see. I had to move my magnetite trailer. It was a pain in the butt from where it was at. It was definitely not the best planning. So let's see, let's turn here. We already got some dirt in my bucket from when I was screwing around, obviously. Now we're just gonna break that stick. Nobody's concerned. Why is the camera? Oh, let's zoom out. Yeah, that'll make that easier. Let's get that bucket flat. All of a sudden, dirt's falling out. Why is that? Why are these things? Let's get some dirt. That looks like a full bucket. Now if I can just get out of there. Now what I like about this loader as opposed to the excavator is definitely A, I drove one before, but B, you can pretty much stay mobile and you don't have to switch controls all the time. And obviously the other thing that's important is the fact that you can load, go, load, go, load, go. So let's see, let's get that height right. I used to have to load hoppers and stuff like that, so this is relatively accurate for that. Not as easy, because when you're running it yourself, it's a little easier to line it up, but definitely a little wonky when you get the bucket way up in the air like this. But fair representation, fair representation. Let's hit that brake there. That looks pretty good. Let's lower the bucket. All right, so we got 40% and 60%, so not what I would call the best, but as I'm kind of leaned up a little awkwardly, fair, I'll call it. Let's back up. Let's try to make this a little easier this time, and let's angle this down. Let's try to go in. Try to use my other hand here. Get rid of the mouse hand. Try to I mean, I don't think that's a full bucket. It doesn't look very full. Pushing on the dirt here isn't helping. Maybe it's a full bucket. I mean, it looks full. Can't say it doesn't look like a full bucket. It does look full. Why am I going forward? I'm trying to go back. There I am, hung up on a little dip. See, look at that little dirt. It's like I high centered on the gas tank, on the fuel tank, I should say. So I'm gonna have to figure out. This is kind of ridiculous. Let's move this a little bit. Maybe it's hanging up on the dirt. It might have been hanging up on the dirt, but the bucket all the way up. I mean, it's definitely going faster with two. I was trying to get it into one, and the setup I had before was just kind of horrible. That's not what I want. That's what I want right there. Oops. I don't think that's enough. I mean, I'm sure it could be definitely more fluid. $40 and $20, so I'm not getting full. Oops, not getting full buckets yet, but we're definitely getting there. Once I'm not pushing E. I'm just dangerous as hell sliding backwards. Let's get that bucket. Let's tilt it slight up. Try that. We don't want it fully down. Maybe we got to come at it a little different because we're not leveled either. You know, that's the other thing. When you're on leveled ground, it's so much easier. But we're kind of going downward, so maybe my bucket's too low. Let's get this down. Oops. That was totally not what I meant to do. Let's back up and start this again. See, we're like hung up on stuff. Let's see. It's hard to control not only the bucket as you do, but trying to angle everything correctly, get it lined up, get it dropped down, and scoop dirt. Like, let's try to not getting anything there. All right, so let's back up. Let's go this way. Let's just go straight across. Lower that sucker. Feel that looks like a satisfactory bucket, but I mean, we're only gonna know by what we're able to produce here. Oh, I found a nugget. Good thing. $20 and hardly anything, so not so good on that one. See, that's what's hard about running a loader on this game. It's not 100% intuitive. Like, it's, I mean, it's hard to do in real life anyways, but I mean, it doesn't feel as intuitive to what real life would be. Because in real life, you would kind of work the bucket, and as you're working it, lift it up too. And I don't see that as working because it kind of fills up fast. I mean, which is great, that's fine, but I mean, it looks full, but it's not. And I also, in real life, you wouldn't just keep hopping out, but that's my personal problem there. Let's try to do, I do like that you can stack it. That is cool. So let's maybe think about things a little differently. I didn't realize if I plugged those lights in, they were gonna stay on. So maybe I need to kick those out too, because that's gonna waste a lot of excessive electricity that I used. Let's come at this pocket right here. Buckets down, let's get that going. Let's get that lower, come on. Let's try to move out. Here we go. It's harder with the camera too, but maybe that's what I need right there, is that camera a little bit out. Let's get the bucket lower. See, that's full, it looks like. Now it just looks like I'm packing it in. And that's, no, it's... Yeah, that looks like full bucket for sure. That has to be a full bucket. Maybe I just need to zoom the camera out and edge it a little better. Definitely don't want to run into this shit. Let's get it lined up a little. I mean, control wise at least, like I said, the controlling of this loader is not horrible. Like, it actually feels really good and it's kind of easy. It's just a matter of getting this right. 70 in one, and so maybe you could use it with one, but I just feel like that dirt we would losing wasn't gonna be worth it. But I am definitely hold on. I am gonna hop out of this sucker right now. Let's get this light turned off just for the moment. Just because it's still daytime, for crying out loud. I mean, it looked cool to have that on, but I mean, obviously at night we know that'll help out really good. I mean, my buckets, they look like they're filling up evenly, so even though I'm not getting 100% even scoops in there, at least they're staying even. So it means I'm doubling up what I would have done maybe with one. So even though one could probably handle this whole bucket, yeah, magnetite trailer, just get you out of the way there. Even though one could handle the one bucket, I think it's smarter to run my options with the two. Let's see. This camera is so wonky sometimes. Trying to keep it where you need it. So let's get down in here and let's see if we can get a decent bucket now. I think we're lined up, not exactly where I want to be. Kind of right there. I want to smooth it out because I don't want to end up getting stuck later. Just because this game will stick you there. Let's curve it up, curve it up. All right, looks good there. Yeah, I like the movement of the loader. I wish that, I mean, it's part of the problem with the dirt too. Like, trying to make this dirt that realistic, I think it's hard because you get little pockets of dirt. I mean, the movement is really cool that you can make the berms and things like that as you're pushing the dirt. That's definitely a cool feature. I think trying to keep it where it's not going to hold you up. It might be a little over, but I think that's what I want. Yes, there we go. That looks much better. Yeah, 45 and a 30 in each one, so about 70. So that's definitely a better pull that time. I think the movement of the loader, like I said, I think the movement's actually really cool and fairly representative. And I've actually gotten the hang of that for the most part, it would seem like. It's really just when it gets stuck or hung up on something, which is kind of unfortunate. But like I said, with the kind of dynamic dirt, I'm gonna call it, that they're using, where it's rotating and moving and you're able to manipulate it, it really does add that challenge of sometimes I'm sure there's bits and pieces where the computer says, hey, you didn't roll that up, so we're gonna go ahead and keep that berm there. That's a little tough, but overall I do like the way the loader controls. I do like the way it handles, especially now that I'm getting the hang of it. It seems like it's definitely going a lot better for getting in here. Put this down, kind of dip it up along the surface there. That looks like a nice full bucket. And then the other thing is too, I mean, obviously you don't want your bucket dragging on the ground. I'm not sure about the range for the ground. It seems like I'm getting hung up kind of in some weird spots. So that seems odd to me, but overall, I mean, you would lift it up naturally so that you could roll. So like I said, overall, fairly solid loader experience. I ran it for about, I think I want to say, what was it, about 8 years I ran a loader. So at least I would add it up to about 8 years straight. It was about 6 years straight and then 2 years kind of as needed. I'd say fairly solid representative experience here of running a loader and actually trying to put dirt in basically a hopper setup to make it happen. Obviously this will be faster if I could do it this way. I'll buck it up a little bit. I mean, overall, now that I've gotten the hang of it too, it was a little wonky. You know, I've got the cameras figured out. I kind of know the little finesse things that you got to do to keep it working pretty good. I'm actually kind of enjoying the fact that I bought a loader, definitely more than the excavator. The excavator, I never ran one in real life and actually is still eluding me in this game on how to be 100% productive about it. I started to get it, but the thing that bums me out is that you really don't get, let's go with this patch over here. You really don't get the, let's kind of go man at an angle. That would definitely be a good way to snap your bucket or your pneumatic arm right there. Let's lift it up a little bit, lift the bucket, lift it up. See, you would kind of inch in like that in real life, and it is moving it like in real life like it probably would, but you would kind of work it in like that and loosen it up as you come up for the pull, and then you would raise your bucket up out of your dirt, back up. It's all kind of coming back to me, back up, and then go to where you need to go. So, I mean, overall, like I said, this is actually proving to be faster than the excavator, but I've never ran an excavator, and the big limitation with the excavator definitely is the fact that you can't move once you sit down. Like, you're kind of localized to that one spot, so it kind of really makes it a little tough to get full things done, which is what I was doing, was just kind of working the area I was in. Yeah, not a bad bucket. So I'm averaging about 80% each bucket. It's not bad, not bad at all. Now that I'm getting the hang of it, I'm kind of excited. This is kind of cheesy, but I'm actually kind of excited that I'm getting the hang of a loader. Like I said, when you used to run one in real life and then to not be able to figure one out on here, it is definitely a little sucky, but now I think I'm getting it, and it is mostly true to the reality of what you would do in a loader, as far as you know, when you pull up, you would probably want to hit your parking brake so you can make sure everything's right. You probably want to make sure that you've got your bucket all the way up so that when you're filtering it down, you can kind of control the flow of dirt better. Because if you're dumping it, obviously, just for example's sake, if you're dumping it here, that's fine, but you're not, if you look at where well, I can just show you, if you look at this, you're not really able to see where you're dumping it. Whereas if you dump it up here, you can also get closer, assuming you have the room to where you're dumping it. You can get closer and you can actually control your blade there, and then if you had to shake your bucket out in real life, you would kind of fling it. It's a really flick of the wrist finesse, but you would do that too. And like I said, if you've got the room, if there's nothing in front of you, and there's nothing that's going to stop your wheels from getting there, you can see the blade clearly, you can adjust as you need to. Whereas if you're here, you know, you can see it, but it's not going to be as finesse. Now if you're going into something lower, that might work out a little better to have it outstretched a little bit, but a lot of times it is just easier to have it up here, because that's the other thing too, is once it's at this full reach, as long as it's not dropping, which I've driven loaders that'll drop, once it's at its full reach, you can trickle it in a little easier with the pneumatics if you're flicking the bucket. If it's down, you can't, it has a little bit of a push on some of the levers, at least the ones that I drove. It has a little bit of a push because it's trying to hold that in place too. If it's up, it kind of knows, hey, it's up all the way. You know, you can put all the pneumatic power into your bucket flicking, which makes it a little stronger. I'll call them, I don't know if they're, Bobcats, Uniloaders, whatever you want to call them. The smaller loaders that, you know, are like one-man loaders, and they're little tiny and you got little joysticks in there. Kind of the same philosophy applies to those as well. If you're trying to shake out dirt and stuff like that, it's much easier when you have it fully extended to the full length of that pneumatic. So that way you can get the full power going into your flick from the pneumatic itself, instead of maybe a half flick or anything like that. So a little bit of real world there. I don't know if it's useful for anybody watching this game, but in case you're ever handed the keys to a loader or you have to do it, just some tips to save a little bit of time and effort there. You definitely don't want to squirrel down into a hole like I just did either, but luckily that's why we have video games. So there's that. Let's try to work it in a little bit, lift it up a little bit. You want to, there we go. It looks like it actually looks like it's following what would be close to a real world idea, I guess. Now that I'm getting it kind of in and working it a little bit, I think it is. I mean, ultimately the harder part too, oh, it's still digging, it looks like. The harder part too is trying to use all those buttons with And get that bucket all the way up, guy. You don't want to lose your dirt. Trying to use all those buttons with your fingers instead of your hands, which would be more intuitive. Ugh. That would roll you. In real life, that would have rolled you. You'd be fucked so hard. There we go. Just line her up on the approach here. There we go. And you've got quite a bit of turn. If you notice, you can come in at pretty much your target almost at any angle with this kind of a loader. You've got that wiggle room to work with, which is why I liked running. I actually liked running front end loaders because it just does feel, it's kind of that weird snake feel to it, like right there. So it actually is really cool to run a loader and have that experience. I guess the sun's finally going down, so now we're gonna try my lighted up scenario here. What are we at on the bucket? So we're at 50% roughly. So it's taken a little bit longer than maybe with the excavator in a sense, but the fact that I'm doubling up my buckets is definitely worth it. Definitely worth it, hands down. Hands down. Now if we could just get some decent gold out of there. What up, Crasher? How's it going? You're not playing PUBG? Or are you in the queue waiting to play PUBG? Ooh, a little too quick there. Oh, that's a full bucket. Hold on. Fuck that. Yeah, waiting to play. How you guys been doing? Good tonight? Or so-so? Hell. Not too bad. Nice. I seen Hype Zone happened out there with quite a few viewers. You guys been getting all top 10 or? It's not as exciting, I'm sure, as the gold digging that's going on in here, but you know, it is what it is. Pretty close, no dinner yet. I'm sure you guys will get it tonight. I mean, how many dinners do you actually need in real life in one night? Well, technically only one, but I mean, in PUBG, I mean, you gotta at least get one a night. I'm over here talking about how to accurately run loaders and stuff, so we got the real excitement here on Gold Rush. Totally, as I run with my bucket in the air, which you shouldn't do. I never thought my mining experience would ever come back in real life, unless I was running equipment again, but lo and behold, I was explaining how to properly run a loader. Oh, you do it too in real life? Yeah, okay. So you know what's up. I was just talking about how close to real life these are. I'm supposing as close as they could probably get. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not as realistic as real life, but it's definitely close now that I've kind of got a handle on the controls. I used to dig a different type of dirt, so a little different approach for digging this hard dirt up, but overall they did pretty good. I like the loader, I like the feel of it. The only thing that they make kind of hard in this game is that little lip right there sometimes it'll stick you up and you can't get out of it, which in real life you can get out of that kind of thing. But overall, not too shabby running this loader. And I set up some dual wash stations and stuff like that so that I could be a little bit more efficient. That raised up. So I could be a little bit more efficient on my dumping. As much as I can be. Ooh, yeah, nice. I think I'm getting about 80% each time I dump, so that's good. My buckets are relatively even, so that's not bad. And real quick, I'm gonna get my lights turned back on. Just turn the dang lights off that I set up, but But I actually think I am gonna need them. Oh, perfect timing. Would you say that I was thinking, since you run loaders, obviously, I was thinking this loader that we have here is probably based on a 980 because it's got the dual arms. Oh, you're playing. Oh, we'll come back. Have fun. Get that dinner. We'll get that opinion later. Let's I don't need this light right now though. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it with the lights. It actually looks really cool though. At night here, this actually looks pretty legit. I like the setup we got here. All right, let's keep it moving. What are we at? Oh, we're at 612 gold. You know, we're at 612 gold. See, that's the whole day there. I woke up, we were at 100 and something gold. I'm at 612 gold, and I have not done a damn thing except waste the day setting up my plant, just for night operations. All right, let's drop some things down here and get this rolling. This thing have headlights? Headlights. Yes. Very nice. Let's get her going. Start trying to work my way evenly down as best I can. Yep, that would have been a rolled loader right there. Whoop. Ooh. The control. I'm definitely going to attribute any speed I'm having to having actually ran a loader in real life. Because knowing how to rotate this thing is probably half the battle for most people. Obviously, fuel is going too well. Alright, let's get this sucker around. Alright, there we go. Drop her down. Drop her down. Whoop, whoop. Didn't mean to drop the park brake though. Let's get her set there. If I could trust the first person camera, I would totally run this in first person camera, but I cannot trust it to get me a full bucket. There we go. Did I get stuck? See? That's bullshit. Yeah, this is some bullshit. There you go. Fold it over, fold it over, fold it over. There we go. Holy crap. Oops. Let's wrench this out just a little better. I get stuck. Oh. I knew I was being too greedy with the dirt. Oh no, that's gonna... Oh, this is horrendous. Come on. Yeah. Wiggle out. Oh. See, in real life, I would have just, you would have been able to back right over that sucker. Come on, come on. There we go. Getting somewhere. I mean, I'm not gonna say you couldn't get stuck in areas like this, but I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. That's a little hump there. Alright, let's try a different plan. Oh, I can't even go forward now. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous though. I wish you could have a little bobcat in this game so you could clear out or maybe flatten. I mean, I guess that's what the bulldozer's for. I mean, maybe I need to go buy the damn bulldozer so you can flatten everything out. I would honestly just push this all clear. I mean, it's kind of my fault. I did kind of dig in that corner, but still, like, this is... I'm totally wasting... I'm burning daylight or moonlight here. And I have an all else fails. I don't want to have to use that, but I definitely have an all else fails if we gotta get going here. Let's see. Alright, what the hell? I wonder, can I lower this? Nope. This is not Sparta. This is a pain in the ass. And you can't even rock out of it. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna rock out of this hole. I mean... Wow. Alright. Uh-oh. It does not like me getting out right there. There we go. Alright. You forced my hand, Gold Rush. You forced my hand. This is why I keep this standing by. Yep, just pull this sucker out. I already forgot the controls. There we go. This is not what it's intended for, so that's probably why it's not working so well. Funny is I don't even need to move it a bunch, just a little bit. Let's try knocking it down this way. You have to find the sweet spot where it's light enough or where it's easy enough to catch it too. Let's try actually setting it up like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I got it stuck in it. Oh, crap. There we go. That was not good. I mean, I wish it had the weight and the gravity of me running it like that. That would knock it right out of that hole. Oh, hell. No, 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 that didn't work out so good. I don't think that's gonna... No, it's gonna... It's kind of tricky. That's actually working really well. Alright, so the easiest way to move the loader, maybe with the excavator if you have to do it, if you ever screw up like me, is to hook it right under the tires. Seems like that's a pretty mobile spot there. Yeah, look at that's doing all right. I know it's probably hanging up because of where the dirt's at. Let's try to lift it a little bit. All right, now before, yes. Let's see, where are we at? Look at that. Oh, damn it. I want to make sure I'm fully out of there before I park the excavator. Wow. Yeah, I wasted a little bit of my night doing that. Alright, let's get this sucker parked now. It's done its thing. We're gonna keep this right here too. I mean, I'll fill it up eventually, but for right now, we're gonna keep this where I can keep it. Alright, back to trying not to suck on this loader. I don't even know how much of a bucket I got, but day summary. Alright, cool. I probably ran out of fuel on my... No, I still got fuel. Okay, I'd say I probably ran out of fuel on this damn... Oh, there's no water. Hold on. I did run out of fuel in the... See that? That's when I know I can pull the bucket up to. So I ran out of water. Because my pump turned off. Empty. I mean, 97 is good enough for me to get back down there, so. Still learning how to use pumps, apparently. Yeah, I kind of like that. The look of this at night. Come on, where's the thing at? Oh. Oh, you can climb up the ladder. Or you can just hop right in. I would prefer to hop right in. Alright. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do about this sideways path here. See, like that little dirt nub makes me nervous because it's not gonna let me. Let's go. Stack that up just a little bit. I mean, it would save me time, honestly, if I was scooping from near the near this wash plants anyways. Alright, so I got that nub out of there. I guess that's another thing I didn't mention while I was talking about running a loader. There is some bucket drop. Hopefully you've noticed it possibly when I'm running that. Why is that light off now? Seems like. Huh. I don't know. It seems like darker now. Anyways, there's some noticeable bucket drop when you're why does everything seem off now? Hold on. What? Doesn't seem right. Yeah, but it worked right. When you're actually backing up, or not backing up, but when you're picking up from a load, the weight will actually drop that bucket slightly. So there is some actual bucket drop in real life too. So that's something to always kind of pay attention to too. Oh, don't want to take out my watering plant. Which it does seem to do that on here as well. So it's kind of a nice little detail. And honestly, I'm just trying to scrape the bottom and make sure I get all the crap out of my way because I don't want my bucket screwing up. Right there. See that little nubby I just made right there? It's probably gonna have a hard time getting out of there for some reason. Even though I shouldn't. Yeah. Glad I didn't high center it over that stupid thing. See, why does that one last time seem like I wasn't as close as I have to be right there? It's weird to me. See, now I'm all the way against it. It looks right. Looks like we're gonna need to do a bucket change here. I don't even know if I set the parking brake, but hopefully I did. Don't want to lose any gold there. How's that other one looking? I think it's kind of catching up. They were about even, but we have changed that distance. Yeah, 78%. So yes. I want to make sure I'm getting this crap out of the way. It's gonna screw me up when I go forward and stuff. So let's do that now. Fuel is low, okay. It's not that low. Let's head in here, right there. Drop it low, turn it, there we go. See, now it seems like I'm further back and it's the same all the way lifted up that it was. So weird to me. That doesn't seem right either though. That seems a little off, but whatever. Try to start evenly here on this angle. See, it just registers that I'm dumping dirt if I dump the bucket down, which is weird. Because there's like a finite space for where you can actually lift the dirt too. $86. Try to edge out right next to the truck. I probably should move my truck at this point, but you know, who's here to judge me on that? Let's go. Come at it this way. You know, I will say with the tufts of dirt it makes, it is cool, but it would be cooler if the loader just had a little more oomph to get over it, so you didn't have to feel like you were being punished for running the load. I don't even know if that's a full bucket. Yeah, it looks full. For a second there, it looked almost completely empty. Alright, so this one should actually fill this other barrel if I got it right. I got it right. Yeah, it's gonna fill it. So let's shut the loader off. Set the park brake, or whoops. Set the park brake. Oh yeah, it's on this side. Close enough, honestly. Now let's take this bucket here. Let's kick out the jams here. Let's kick on the jams here. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so we got magnetite separator first. First bucket. That wavetable going. Everything feels a lot better than where I had it before, honestly. So I'm kind of glad for that. As I bumped the table with my hand, damn. Alright, that bucket's done. Alright, this is done. Get this last one done. Take this one over here to this stack. Get that picked up. There we go. Alright, magnetite's done. Wavetable, finished the other one. So it's almost timed perfectly too, which is what I like. You can be done with one, done with one, done with one. So we're definitely not, we're not killing it like our employees are, but we're definitely contributing, I'll say. Alright, and the wavetable's done. Shut that off. Shut that off, and we'll go ahead and save some power and shut this off too. So overall, not bad. Oh yeah, let's go get this sucker turned off. Then I'm gonna move my truck. Overall, not bad. Hard day / night work here. We're off to a good start. I think that it can only get better now that I've got the loader. Definitely gonna be easier during the day to see these little humps that I keep making. Yeah, they're actually really dark on the feed, it looks like, but there's these little humps here that are going to be really much easier to get rid of during the day, when we can actually see what we're doing, not when we're kind of guessing where the dirt is. And I mean, in all honesty, it's daytime anyways, but this is a good place to stop the stream as well. So I'm just going to get out here. The other cool thing about the tablet, so we didn't fully talk about the tablet, is you can check the stock price of gold right now. See, gold was at a high right there, but we missed it. It's kind of low here, but it's, I've sold it. I sold it actually down here, so it wasn't too horrible considering. That's a day, so the last week. So it seems to be riding pretty good for there. So go back to a day. I've sold it at 42 and stuff like that, so it's definitely better to sell it when it's higher, but it hasn't really dipped out too bad. So so that's gonna do it for now. We're going to save the game and maybe approach this at a later time again. Maybe I won't play so much offline now that I kind of got things going and they look all right. So we'll come back another time. Thanks for checking out the stream if you did. And this was again Gold Rush the game. So we'll see you next time.